Okay, class, we're going to look at an example from 7.3. I've had some people asking questions on how to use the technology to help you solve questions like 7.3.13. Now, for the first part of the problem, you can just use basic programs on your TI calculator. For the second part, you will have to download some programs from triolastat.com. Let's look at those. Now, directions for this are also, if you open the textbook online on page 350 and 351 down here, starting at the bottom, using the TI-83-84 Plus for constructing confidence intervals of the standard deviation or the variance. It starts talking about it, and it tells you that you are going to need some of these programs by Michael Lloyd that are available for download at triolastats.com. The two that you need to really make sure you get, which if you download all, you should get them if you download all of them, the S2INT and the ZZINEWT program. And then, it gives you some directions for how to use those. Now, if you need help actually installing those on your calculator, you might have to either go to ti.com or go to YouTube or somewhere and just watch how to do that. Once you go to triolastats.com, click on the book that looks the most like ours, which is this first one. You can see our books down here at the bottom using the 84 calculator. Now, if you click on this green button, Access Technology Downloads, and then click on the TI calculator, you could choose your calculator from the list. Mine is a 84 Plus CE, so I'll click it. And then I would just click this green button to download all of these Michael Lloyd programs, even with the ANOVA. It'll download a zip file on the computer. That you can open that zip file and then use your TI Connect software and Core to transfer that to your calculator. Again, if you don't know how to do that, go to YouTube or somewhere and look that up. But you will also need this TI Connect software if you have not downloaded it so far in the class. Now, we'll come back to this in a second, but part 2 right here has instructions for how to use the program once you actually get it on your calculator. Okay, let's go back to the problem. I'm just going to use this Help Me Solve It box so that you can see the numbers are matching up for what we're supposed to get. It's going to give us some sample of numbers right here. The first thing I'm going to do is hit Stat, Edit, number 1 there, just hit Enter. In L1, I just entered all 12 of these sample numbers right here. Just enter those in your list. Now, in step 1 for the problem, you need to calculate the sample variance, or S squared. For that, we don't need any special program on your calculator. You can just hit Stat, go over to Calc, and it's number 1 var stats. Hit Enter. For the list, make sure it says L1. If it doesn't, you can hit second, L1, and then enter again. Now, when it spits out these results, we're looking at this S of X, the standard deviation of the sample, which is 245.7065724. Now, it spits out the standard deviation for the sample, so to get the variance, all we have to do is take this number and square it. So we'd get 245.7065724 squared. Hit Enter. And you can see this number that it spits out is the same number we should get over here in the example, 60,371 and we round it 2 places to 0.72. So we've got that part right. Okay. Now, once you have that number, you are able to use that program you've downloaded from the Michael Lloyd files. And depending on how you download it, it'll either be in your apps or in your program. If I hit on mine, my emulator, I hit Program, I would see it in this list here, S2INT. I'm going to hit Enter. Now, as these directions that I was talking about from the textbook even, press Program, select the program you're looking for, which is this one. Press Enter twice and proceed to enter the sample variance S squared our sample size N, and the confidence level as a decimal. Okay? So in our case, I'm going to hit enter one more time. And the program started when you see input stats. And then this is where I'm going to enter this number from up here. 60,371.72. I'd hit enter. We had 12 numbers in our sample, so N equals 12. Again, that's just how many numbers we had in the list from the sample. Our confidence level, it will be given to you in the problem. In our case, this one said to build a 99% confidence interval estimate, so I would put it as 0.99. Remember, you enter that as a decimal. Now, as you look at your directions from the text, once we enter all of that, we're just going to press enter, and we're going to wait for the display of the confidence interval limit for the variance. Okay, and then basically once it spits out this for the variance, we'll hit it again, and that'll give it for just the population standard deviation. So I'm going to hit enter. It may take it a little while. You can see it spinning up here. It means it's still working. Once it spits this variance interval out, I'm going to hit enter one more time, and then it will be my, as you can see, my population standard deviation, which is what we were looking for in this problem. As you can go back up here, use the sample data to construct a 99% confident interval estimate of the standard deviation. Okay. As I scroll down through here, these are the numbers we're needing. You can see the lower limit of the confidence interval, 157.5. That's exactly what we've got right here, 157.5. And then our upper confidence interval limit, is a 505, and 0.07 would round to 0.1. So that is how you would use your calculator to help you work these problems. And if you just hit enter again, it'll stop the program from running. Okay? I hope that helps. If you have any issues, just let me know. Thank you.